So far we have discussed about the B versus H curve for a ferromagnetic material. Okay. Now we want to focus on the B versus H curve for a paramagnetic and diamagnetic material. We have earlier noticed that the B versus H curve for a diamagnetic material have the lower slope and inclined below the vacuum line. If this middle line is vacuum, then my below line will be for diamagnetic and upper line will be for paramagnetic. So both the diamagnetic and paramagnetic will show a linear response for B versus H curve, because both this type of material does not have any magnetic moment in absence of a magnetic field. Now my diamagnetic material opposes the magnetic field, applied magnetic field, so it is below the vacuum line, or the value of B will be higher, value of B will be lower at the same magnetic field, and value of B will be higher for the paramagnetic for a given magnetic field. If I consider this magnetic field, then at this magnetic field I have a diamagnetic value this, but I have a paramagnetic value this. So in case of paramagnetic, I have higher magnetization or higher induced magnetic moment than the diamagnetic material. Okay. Then we have heard a term magnetic hysteresis. Okay. Before going to know the magnetic hysteresis, we have to first learn what is called hysteresis. Hysteresis is typically is a Greek word which means lag or delay. Okay. So what type of lag or what type of delay we are talking in hysteresis? That if two properties or two measurable quantities are related to each other and they form a circular way, that is m is changing with the n value, then what will happen? When there are two quantities m and n such that cyclic variation of n causes a cyclic variation of m. Okay, that means m is a function of n, like b is a function of h. Okay, this type of. And if the change of m lag behind those of change of n, then we can say this relationship between m and n are consist of a hysteresis. There is a hysteresis in the relationship of m and n, because at the same point, for the same value of n, I have some lag. I have some lag of n. That is, for same value of n, I may have different value in the different region. So particularly there is a gap between the two lines. Okay, so this is called hysteresis. Similar kind of phenomena we have noticed. Hysteresis is noticed in the B versus H curve or H line, as well as we can notice it in the magnetization versus external field case. Now when a ferromagnetic material is magnetized in one direction, it will not relax back to zero magnetization when the external magnetic field is removed. And if we want to make it the previous condition, that means it must be driven back to zero magnetization, 0m, by applying some opposite field. Okay. Similar thing will happen if we alter the external magnetic field in the reverse direction, and its its magnetization will trace out a loop called hysteresis loop. Okay, nothing is there. I have told you that m is a function of n. Now here m is the magnetization is a function of h external field. When I have started to increase the external field, then what will happen? This randomly oriented magnetic domain or magnetic dipoles are going to orient align one with each other. That means they are starting to align in a certain direction. Then after a certain magnetic field, all the magnetic dipoles are oriented in the same direction. So there will be a saturation in the magnetization, which is known as, this A point is known as saturation magnetization MS. Then if I switch back to the external magnetic field to zero magnetic field, zero, then I have noticed there is still remains some magnetization. This kind of magnetization is known as remanence magnetization, which is denoted by MR, Then in order to make this magnetization zero or remove this remanence magnetization, I have to make the applied field in the opposite direction. Okay, so I will go to the negative direction, and again for a certain field I will notice that m becomes 0. So this field, this amount of negative field is known as Hc, which is the corrosivity or corrosive force of this material. Then again if I increase this applied field in the, that is negative applied field, then there will be a saturation. From this it will start to, in this Hc, the orientation of magnetic dipoles are random, then they are again trying to align with each other. After a certain field, all the magnetic dipole will align in a certain direction, and this direction will be different from the direction which is observed in the point A. So if this point A has all the spin in upward direction, then this point and point D will have all the magnetic dipoles are in the opposite direction. Now this will be again a saturation magnetization MS. Again we will notice a remanence magnetization. To remove this remanence magnetization, we have to apply a positive field. Then this is the positive corrosivity. Then again we will reach to a point A. This will generate again a hysteresis loop. That means now relation between M and H consists of a hysteresis. Okay, so this loop A, B, C, D, E, F to A is known as magnetic hysteresis loop. And so if we notice this case, then you can see that the change in the magnetization is not a linear case. In the very small value, that is when H tends to 0, then and it look like say linear response increasing linearly, but when it goes to higher H value, then the lines becomes non-linear. So magnetization versus H loop is a non-linear case or non-linear relationship for basically for your ferromagnetic material. Now if we want to study the effect of temperature on the magnetization, we notice that this nonlinear magnetization characteristics depend on temperature, and for a ferroelectric material, that will be the magnetization versus H curve at a certain temperature. Okay, and if I and this is for a normal temperature, let's say room temperature, and if I make the M versus H plot for different temperature, then what will become? This nature will changes, and after a certain temperature it becomes a straight line which is looks like similar to the paramagnetic material. Then so after a certain temperature this response will change and it will behaves like a paramagnetic material. Okay, so the that means a permanent magnet or a sample which has a magnetic moment, net magnetic moment, even in absence of the um, applied field, that is the ferromagnetic material can lose their magnetic property after a certain temperature. And we have know this term from very old days, that this temperature is called Curie temperature, above which a magnet lost its or loses its magnetic property. Okay, so we'll study this effect of temperature in more details in the coming classes.